So I'd like to invite to this stage Crystal Orderson and President Gurib-Fakim to give us a sense of what's next in a closing interview.
Okay, I think so. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I don't often get starstruck, but I am. I think, you know, watching the president the past 48 hours, hearing us speak, has just been absolutely incredible. And I think, you know, as an African journalist, one often, you know, you don't get inspired by leaders, but I think I really can leave Mauritius feeling quite inspired, Madam President. So I just want to say that to you. So it's not that I want this interview to be soft, but really, I mean, this is one of the sharpest women I've met, so she's making my job quite easy. So we'll start. Madam President, I mean, the past 48 hours has been incredible. I mean, there's been networking, there's, you know, people have just come out and spoken about ideas. In your reflection, what's some of the pointers that you would like to take away?
First of all, I would like, well, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to actually close this session. First of all, I would like to thank all the participants, and I will allow myself an observation. It's very rare to see a forum after 2 days, 7 o'clock at night, and the hall is still full. So again, thank you for your presence and for persevering till the very end. To see how best we can close this session. As you have said, we have come after 2 days. We have managed to bring together 41 countries in this island, lost in the Indian Ocean. And I think what we have been able to showcase to the world is that Mauritius can do other things. We are not just sun and sea, but there's so much we can do, and there's so much we should do. And I think we should really enact our motto, which actually is part of the crest of Mauritius. We should be really the star and the key of the Indian Ocean. And I think it's right time we should actually play this role fully. Thank you.
Absolutely. Madam President, so of course, you know, there's been a lot of exchanging of ideas. And everyone, I've spoken to a few of the delegates here, they want to know, we're feeling inspired, we've talked about these things, but what now? How do we practicalize what we've spoken about here and take it to our respective countries?
Yeah. You know, Crystal, when we actually worked out this program, we have split climate change under themes. Themes of agriculture, health, energy, water, frugal innovation. It was deliberate. It was deliberate to give a sense of coherence and also a sense of the practicality and the urgency of climate change for a country like Mauritius, which is already on the 14th position on the World Waste Report. As you know, we have made promises to Paris. We have, for example, one of the promises we made is reduction of 30% of our emission. And now is the time, through the network that we have here, and the power that these women and men bring at the table to exchange ideas so that we can come up with a strategy which is coherent, which is practical, and which will yield results. So my first take from this meeting will be ways and means of addressing the INDC, our submission, but also ways and means of addressing our own challenges through these themes. Because whatever we talk about food security, whenever we talk about energy sufficiency, energy security, water, all these will impact the families, will impact Mauritius. So I think this meeting will also ensure that we have a certain degree of preparedness.
Excellent. Madam President, so we also heard this morning from a speaker that, you know, COP21 was all about, you know, it was hard work and everyone was happy when they left, but now it's about the practicalities. Political will was there, but now, you know, in respective countries there needs to be action. How, as a head, you know, as a president, as a woman that's well respected within the world, how can you play your role in driving that agenda in?
When countries went to COP, I think there was a lot of nervousness. Why nervousness? Because in the past, many of the COPs have failed. In fact, when we actually mooted the idea of having the Women's Forum in Mauritius with a climate theme, that was in October, well before COP in December. So we weren't sure what would be the outcome. So the outcome that we've managed to have a consensus at the level of COP, the countries have decided that yes, climate is an issue. That was already a big step forward. But I think we are still not out of the woods in as much as we still haven't got the scenario of 55 for 55. Mm-hmm. And so we need more countries ratifying the agreement. Mm-hmm. And as we speak, I think there are a few countries, but we are far from the desired scenario so as to make it implementable. So we still have got this battle to win. So once we have this, whenever we have it, so I hope sooner than later, we should be able to see how we can now empower the women within health, agriculture, and all this. And this forum like this will help to bridge this exchange and bridge the gap and empower these people, be it with technology, be it financial means, because finances will be the order of the day very soon, because we have spoken a lot about, for example, empowering women with technology, but how do you get it? And so these issues will come to the fore very, very quickly. And while we walk towards Marrakesh or Morocco in November, it will be a time to reassess the promises made and see how best to deliver and how, where we are, where we took up, because I count Paris as a baseline zero, and how we move forward.
Okay. Madam President, Jacqueline was saying earlier that because you're a scientist, you look at the world very different from us ordinary folk. And sometimes that can drive and really ensure that we see implementation. Do you think that would describe what you're going to do and what we're going to see in the next year or so?
When you're trained as a scientist, you're trained to be Cartesian. And you're trained to get results. And you're driven by this, rightly so. And I think this is where there is a convergence in both areas, whether you are at the political level, whether you're at leadership level. I think there has to be this drive to get results. And I think by getting this drive, by being driven to getting results and happening on the ground, you also ensure a certain degree of accountability and transparency, which I've just heard just now. So I think this is a very important feature. I think while we are working towards, post-COP, going on from Paris, to show there are transparency, to show sincerity in action. It's only through this that we will make people believe and give hope. Mm-hmm. And it is this that we are working for, to keep on giving hope to people that, yes, tomorrow will be challenging, but we will work towards it, we will get results. So I think this is where I think my scientist deformation comes in.
It's very inspiring. Madam President, I was asked this one specific question. Will you be going to Deauville later this year?
Deauville. It's a long way down the line. December is Deauville. We'll see. We'll see how the... But I think the adventure with Jacqueline, I think, is far from over. It's only beginning. So even if I miss Deauville this year, I'm sure there's plenty of Deauvilles to catch up on.
Okay. Okay. Well, there's the question, the one question that I was asked. Madam President, so, I thought what was interesting how the focus that you also brought about, at least for me, was small island developing states and the challenges that they face. We've had people from Trinidad, Tobago, Comores, Reunion here. How, as a collective, are we going to see a collective message coming around the challenges that they face and some of the issues that were raised here from those representatives of those countries?
Fortunately, we have started to talk about an alliance of SIDS. And SIDS represent 34 countries, and I think SIDS have played a very major role last COP. And one thing as well that we have in common, be it whether we are in Trinidad or whether we're in Mauritius or Seychelles or Philippines, we share the same challenge and the same risk. I think it's time that we start looking at the positive side and learn to share the best practices, because we're all impacted by erosion, we're all impacted by weather patterns and all that. So I think it's time within this alliance of states that we can share the best practices and so that ensure each other's survival.
So, Madam President, so last question. How are we going to ensure that what happened here, that we actually deliver on some of the promises and that we can see some action practically?
You know, I think it's down to individual. We also, we tend to put a lot of emphasis on what politicians will do. But here I think we have showcased, I'm just listening to one of the ladies here. She just said that unconventional women don't make it. I think unconventional human beings won't make it. We have to just break the mold and do it and become doers. And through becoming doers, we will make a change. And, it's down to us. It's down to each individual to make the effort. And this is the only way forward. And again, it calls upon what has been said over the past 2 years. I will repeat what Nicolas Hulot said yesterday. It calls for a global solidarity. Solidarity at national level, solidarity at regional level, and solidarity at international level. It's only through this solidarity that we will, and my take on this from this forum has been, again, what has been discussed yesterday very eloquently by Nicolas Hulot and, of course, the speakers from yesterday, and, of course, today from the session I've heard, is this global solidarity that we have to push forward so as to be able to tackle these global problems which call for global solutions.
Excellent. On that note, I'm inspired. I'm speechless. And I think you've inspired the entire room. Can we give a standing ovation, please?
All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, I thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Thank you, Crystal, for this closing interview.